So here I am. I'm live. This is Michelle Blanding. These are the decks I'm using tonight. I have Archangel Power Tarot. I have the Luminous Spirit. This one is the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, Past Life, Angels, Gods, Goddesses, and Angel Tarot cards, Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. So if anybody would like a card, if you're here, I will pick one for you. All you have to do is ask, and I will pick a card for you and give you a meaning behind it. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for watching. Hi. So I'm going to pick a card as long as you want one. Hi, Mitty. My cat's going to come up now and join in. But as long as you want to pick a card, just give me a wave or let me know that you'd like me to do that for you and give you a mini reading. She's really curious, so she's gonna be popping in, I think, in the camera any second right now. Hello, Mitty. So hopefully you're waiting for a couple more people to come on, but here she is. Here's Mid. So some energy has been really crazy lately with the moons. We have 3 super moons in a row coming. We have the one that just passed, of course, the 21st. And then we also have one coming up, I believe it's February 19th. And then there's also one in March. And don't quote me on that one, but I think that one is also around the 30th or 31st or something like that. So there's definitely 3 super moons in a row. The energies are really, really awesome right now for anybody that's interested in a card reading. I hope I posted this really late and it was last minute, so I don't know who will be on here, but I'm going to go ahead and pick a card from each deck. And do it differently because I'm not sure how many people will actually make it on tonight. So pick a card deck, first of all. I'll go over them again. Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, the Angel Tarot, Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, Past Life, Doreen Virtue, Brian Wise, Archangel Power Tarot, Doreen Virtue, Radleigh Valentine, the Luminous Spirit, and then, of course, my Morgan Greer Tarot deck here hidden in my box. So I'm going to pick a card from each deck, and then I will give it a meaning. And if this card resonates with you and it's what that you like, then that was the deck that you picked, and that's the card for you. So here we go. I'm going to give the cards a little shuffle here, see what Spirit wants me to pick out. The other one was easy. I just flipped it over, and I knew that was the card. This one comes out for that deck. So I'm going to put them, I'll try to keep them as close as possible to the deck so you can see the deck that it came from. Let me get one from this Past Life deck here. Mitty, you were really in the way, sweetheart. My cat's so cute. She's like, I want a card. Here we go again. I just flipped it and it was the card. So that one's going to stay. Now I got Archangel Power Tarot. So as I'm doing this, just pick your deck, and then I'll go over the cards that I'm picking and choosing here. And whichever resonates with you is what's coming out. Actually, I have 2 from this deck, which is weird. So if you pick the Archangel Power Tarot, those there's 2 cards from that deck. Now, Mitty, you are definitely in my way. Her little butt cheek here. In my place, in my spot. A lot of these are just popping out of the box. I'm not even shuffling. It's just coming. And so I've shuffled a few, and I love this deck. Morgan Greer. Oh my God, so cool. So this one I don't really have a box to go with it, but I do have an angel. So okay, so I'm going to go over all the cards right now that I just picked. So I'll start with the first deck, actually, and that's Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, and that is 9 of Fire. So here we go. This is the card right here, and you can see this beautiful card. So if you picked that deck, this is the card for you, and it says, don't give up Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. There's also a dragon on this one, which is really powerful fire energy. And the 9 of fire, you can see she's kind of got her face away from the dragon. He's looking up at her. So I feel like that fire energy almost wants to help you out in some way. And you may have your back towards it. I see her with, her wand in her hand, like standing kind of sideways almost, but not really looking at the dragon, who's also got a wand there wanting to offer some help, but she's kind of like standing her stance and not really taking it. So don't overlook any help that's coming to you, especially in a fire energy. And the 9, of course, is a significant number. This is 2019, so I would say that the 9 is definitely a good part of 2019, the year, as well. So be aware that this year, ask for help and receive it, and especially from any kind of guardian. If you have an animal, a power animal, not just a dragon, I would say to go for that as well with this card. And don't look back. In the corner there, we have like this little pile going on. It looks like all these little wands like growing out of the earth. So I would say don't look back on the past, because she's not really looking at that, and it's like all these little things growing out of the earth there might be just reminders of the past, and so she's looking away from that. But it also could be that the future is coming as well, and she's ignoring it. See how he's holding that wand, and she's kind of standing and not really looking at what's growing. So don't focus on the past, but also don't ignore the future and what's coming. Behind him, it looks like this dragon's got like a whole bunch of like leafy stuff growing out right there. So he has a lot of new growth to offer. So just be aware of that and make sure that you're not so focused on yourself or guarding yourself that you're not able to accept help, and that you're not looking where you need to be and accepting what you need to accept. So that's that one. Angels, Gods, and Goddesses is the next one. This is the card for this deck. So if you pick that deck, this is your card. Angel of Addiction and Healing. A time of positive transformation and healing. So right now, I would say to look up to the goddess, to Gaia, to Mother Mary, to yoga. If you're interested in yoga, that would also help. Meditation. Anything like that would help with addictions and healing and transformation. And to be calm with yourself. Don't go 2 different ways with this. There's 2 snakes in the picture, okay? So if you want to heal something, you can't be hard on yourself when you're doing it. You have to give yourself some time and space, and give that kind of, whatever that is, addiction over to the other side, to spirit. So you see that he has those like kind of, it looks like those little waves of energy coming out of his eyes, and she has it coming out of her eyes, and he's looking towards the snake, but not towards Mother Mary, and she has all this healing to offer, and it's going towards the other snake. So you got to be careful that you don't ask for and not receive what you're asking for as well. You want to make sure that you're seeing eye to eye with what you're asking for, and then receiving it and being open to receive that healing and health. So that as well, don't ignore it when it comes, or think that you're not good enough for it, that kind of thing. So that's that deck. The next deck is the Past Life, Doreen Virtue, Brian L. Wise. It's spirituality and religion. Now, I do past life readings as well as future life readings. I do not use this deck for my past life readings. I use the Golden Thread, which is a black and gold deck. It's awesome tarot deck. But this is very helpful as well. So if you have anything going on from a past life with this new energies that are coming in with these supermoons, you want to be able to look at spirituality and religion and make sure that it's not something that is holding you back in this life. And it's also something that you're not ignoring in this life as well. So in other words, as far as holding you back, spirituality and religion, if you had vows in a past life, if you weren't, so much around like money and wealth and giving everything away. You might be careful not to do that in this life too much if you don't have it. And we kind of need it, and we're living in a different time and age than, say, maybe like the 1700s or 1500s, if that was the case. And then also with spirituality and religion, you don't want to ignore it as well. So in a past life, if you didn't have a good upbringing and you weren't in church, say you were on the streets, you were an orphan or something like to that effect, just for an example, and you didn't have a whole lot of spirituality and religion, you don't want to overdo it in this life to compensate and make up for it and be in church like 24/7 and ignore everyday life responsibilities and things like that. Unless you plan on being a priest or a nun, then that's different. And some people do carry that over, and it's great for them. And if that's the case, then make sure that you are true to yourself and your path and giving your all and your best to your community, to your flock. But I would say to try to have a balance with spirituality and religion in this life as much as possible, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's that deck. And now I'm going to move over to the Archangel Power Tarot. And if you pick this one, these are the cards for that. So the first, I'm going to turn it upside down. Around so you can see it because it's upside down. So it's 5 of Michael, and this situation doesn't serve you. So release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Okay, and that one's upside down. And then we have the next one, which is the Knight of Gabriel. And it says confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. Time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing just what to do. So if you got this one, then you're kind of stuck. You're kind of not knowing, because it was upside down when I picked it out. Remember, you're not very confident, enthusiastic, or courageous, or charismatic. You need to up the ante. You need to take some time for yourself before you take any action. Decide what it is that you actually want and what is your passion, and figure that out. So you need to get some clarity here for yourself. So I would go deep within and meditate and ask and pray about that. And the 5 of Michael was upside down as well. And the situation's not serving you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So in other words, this is upside down too. So it could be that where you are now, you don't have to push yourself to be out of that place so much. In some ways, I know it's a little contradicting, but I would say don't push yourself. Just get clear with yourself, first of all, on what you want, because this was upside down, remember, and the other one was too. So that even if the situation may be serving you right now, and that's why you haven't moved on, because you have something like unfinished business, which you need to take care of. And it could be reminiscent of a past life. It could be that you just have to tie up some loose ends before you can actually be extremely clear on what you want and maybe clean up whatever it is that you need to clean up. Like, I need to figure out which career I really want to do because this isn't serving me, but right now I need to make the money and I can't leave this job, that kind of thing. So you think about what you really want to do and you get really clear about it, and then, maybe down the road you pray about it, take a chance on it, and you'll be able to do that. And with this one, it also says to release the attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach. So I would say know your outcome and be really clear, law of attraction on what you want with these 2 cards, and get clear on that for yourself so that you can be more courageous and more confident and have the life that you want, and to be able to not get too upset about things, but sometimes crying is okay. It's cleansing, not overdoing it, not depression or anything like that. So remember, these cards were upside down, the 5 of Michael and the Knight of Gabriel when I pulled them. So that's what those 2 represent right there in order to turn that situation around. And then the next one I'm going to go on to is the Luminous Spirit card. And the one I picked for this deck here is the 3 of Wands. So if you picked the Luminous Spirit deck, this is my Wishes, Manifestation, and the Moon deck. You can make a nice wish on this card as well. It's very nice. This card always, to me, represents spirit. It represents a marriage. It represents, to me, money. It represents things coming together in unity. It has a lot to do with things maybe not quite yet coming to fruition. It's still in the ether, still up in the air a little bit, but definitely on the way. And it represents a lot of joy and happiness, and I feel like just abundance, and it's a lot. It's a lot of different things, this card, to me, but definitely unity, definitely a marriage of some sort, and abundance and prosperity. And if it can be a marriage, literally, it can also, like someone getting married and getting a wedding ring. It can also be a marriage of just like yourself and spirit and finding your path and that kind of thing and your way in the world. So it has a lot of great meanings, this card. And now, last but not least, is Morgan Greer Tarot, and this is what I picked. The Queen of Swords. So you pick this card, whether you're male or female, doesn't really matter. It's cutting out a lot of things in your life, being strong, and maybe if you're a male in your feminine side of cutting out what doesn't serve you and being more of a gentleman, more of a male figure, more dominant male figure, maybe, standing up for yourself in a situation, not being cowering, that kind of thing. If it's a woman, it's also cutting out a lot of things that don't serve you in your life, and standing up for your rights and justice and knowing who you are, not being afraid to show those thorns. You see those thorns on her head. So taking the time to realize who you are and stand in your power. And if you have to use it, or you have to actually be able to give off a little of a rough edge in order to stand your ground and receive what you need to receive, and be able to have the justice that's due you, then so be it. And there's also a bud there that's not opened yet. So, when you cut out the stuff that you no longer need, new growth comes. So that's waiting, and you see the clouds and the ether in the background. So cutting those things out is only going to help to bring you more prosperity. And so those are the cards, those are the decks. And thank you, Rebecca, for being here tonight. I did post this very late, and it was only a couple of hours ago, and it's late. So these are the decks, and I will post this to different places, and people can pick their decks. And hopefully, if you'd like to get in touch with me, if you'd like a reading, it's Michelle Blanding. I have free and paid readings, Michelle Blanding on Facebook. I also have Michelle Blanding free and paid readings and Sample Yoga Nidra. I have the page called the Twin Flame Fighters. I recently started a page called the Rhode Island Twin Flame Society on Facebook. So if you are a twin flame or think you are a twin flame, please check that out. Please check out my YouTube channel, Michelle Blanding. I have some great stuff on there. I'm always posting things. I may not be doing it daily yet. I'm working up to maybe doing it a little more often. Hopefully I'll get there soon. But please check out all my pages. I have Magical Yoga Arts, which is my original business page on Facebook. And I also have a secret page that is also part of that group. If you'd really like to be part of my secret page and you don't know about it yet, hit me up and ask me about that on Messenger or on Instagram as well. I post on Instagram a lot, or Twitter. Sometimes I post on Twitter as well. So please check me out. And if you need a reading, I'd love to do one for you. I do angel, tarot, mediumship, past life, future life, and intuitive. I don't need cards. I can do them without. So I usually use them because it's easier for people to see. And I get sometimes a lot of information from the cards too, but I can definitely do it 100% without the cards. Don't need them, especially when it comes to like mediumship and that stuff kind of thing. And I've had angels come to me in the middle of a reading and actually see them. So it's awesome. So just know that I'm here for you. And if you're definitely a twin flame or you have any issues with that, I'm also one, and hopefully in union soon. But definitely been separated for quite a while, few years now, and it's a very trying thing, and how I came to be on that path is amazing in 2012 with a big Kundalini opening and meeting my twin. And so I'm definitely a twin flame, and if you need advice with twin flames or have any issues with twin flames, please don't hesitate to ask any questions. And I thank you all. Have a blessed night.